I would like to present a topic on Judas, the two Judas. There are two Judas in the Bible. One are Roman Catholics and Christians, and the other are Muslims. Now, 24 Hindus wrote into Bible how Roman Catholics and Christians destroyed India. Muslims wrote into history how they destroyed India. Roman Catholics and Christians came in two waves, 1st century to 5th century CE. 15th century to 20th century. Muslim came in 9th century and stayed there. Nalanda University was burned down by Muslims and under Bakhtiar Khilji. It was rebuilt by Modi and opened this week. Judas in Bible are referring to Roman Catholics and Christians. After teaching them and giving them everything for 13,000 years, they came to India and destroyed India. This is how they get the name, the Judas. The Muslims did the same. After the Hindus gave them everything, they came and destroyed India. This is so. The Muslims are not mentioned in Bible because Bible only has records up to 1st 31st 76 CE. But the Muslims have their record in their history of what they had done. In understanding the three entities of Jesus, I would like to explain that. First, Jesus is 13,000 years. That is Ram. Now, first Jesus is 200 million Hindus. Now, that 200 million Hindus are mentioned in Revelation 9, chapter 9, verse 16. These 200 million of Hindus took it upon themselves to go outside the world and teach these cannibals and incestophiles. But they keep returning to India after doing service, or what we call missionary duties. So that Jesus, what we call, continue to revolve. As they keep coming and going, this is how you get the 200 million Hindus that left India. But not all 200 million went back to India. Millions stayed outside and constructed civilizations such as Egypt and discovered new lands. So that is the first Jesus. The second Jesus, that is an entity Ram. Entity Jesus is 200 million Hindus. We have now the second Jesus is the writer of the Bible, or the writers of the Bible. There were 24 Hindus with their families, amount to 90 Hindus. They constructed the Bible. And this now is the second Jesus. But in all four books is recorded as Jesus. So the third Jesus is the book itself, the literature, the scripture. So you have four books, which is four Jesus. So at no time were there one single Jesus or one God. All of them are gods too. So what the Bible has done, or the Bhagavad Gita and the Hindu scriptures, are referring to a one God, meaning a one God entity. There was never at one time there was one single God. Right? You will see in the Bible where they state first Jesus, continue to say, I am going back to my Father, but I will be back with you. That Jesus who is left, he's not coming back. Is another Hindu that is coming back. You see? An example would be like this. Zacchaeus, who followed, if you read Zacchaeus, it says he's a short man and he couldn't see Jesus while he was coming. Well, a new Hindu was passing. He climbed up a tree and hailing out to Jesus. Why you have to climb up the tree? They say he was short. But what you're checking and what he's telling Zacchaeus, come down from the tree, I'm going to stay by you tonight to have dinner. What does it mean? Zacchaeus planted a tree. That he was told how to plant it, but he does have no knowledge what to do with the fruit, if to eat it green or eat it ripe or cook it. He has no knowledge of that. So to go to have dinner is to teach Zacchaeus how to cook food. So this is what the Hindus were doing. This is Jesus Christ. Now Jesus healed the blind. There's another one, another nice one to understand. He spit in some earth and mix it up and touch the blind man's eye. And he began to see. What is the moral of the story, or what is this miracle? What is the Hindus telling to this blind man? How to plant crops. When you plant crops, you have to get the soil moist so that the crops can grow. That is the moral of that story. Okay? Jesus heals a man with fish scales. Yes. Fish scales falling out the eye. The same blind man again. What is the moral of the story, or what is this miracle all about? Jesus showing him a fish with scales. Teaching him now, get into the river and catch this fish to eat and stop eating people. Another example I would just like to put here. In India, when under invasion from Muslims and Christians, both of them were attacking at the same time. The Muslims coming from the north and the Christians coming from the south. Well, they had two Rajas or two leaders, one named Matanda Varma, one named Dharma Raja. They took up all their jewels that they had in the temple. Anybody could walk into any temple at any time, in the night, day, or anything, and temples never close. With all the jewels and gold. This is how Hindus' culture was. They were not thieves. So why did they hide all of this? They strip all the temples that they could get and hide it underground. Most of this gold, I think, is from Padmanabh Bashwani Temple, or Padmanabh Vashwani Temple in India, where they stopped checking the vault at 22 billion in value. So this is one good that the Hindus had done to save their wealth, because both Muslims and Christians, their aim was wealth. And one of the aim for wealth is they attack the idols. Why do you think they attack the idols? And first they break out the head and kick it up, mash it up. The reason for that, the money used to be placed into the head or the back. So that was one reason that they put into their law to destroy idols. Idols in the Bible refer to incestophiles. That is Christians, Roman Catholics and Christians today. You know. This is not idols that they talk about, so they must read. Worshipping idols is to worship incestophiles. This is what it meant. So another interesting topic to note, how these writers of Bible construct the Bible. They have in their book, I think it's 2 Kings 25:1, Nebuchadnezzar entered Jerusalem and started to destroy the temple. So they frame the story to that. But on top of the verse, most Bibles have it entered 600 BC, our approximate time. But if you go to the verse itself, and the verse is telling you 10th of the 10th, 9th year, that has nothing to do with 600 BC, meaning that they have no knowledge of dates and time. So the writers of the Bible themselves have no knowledge what they're writing. They're just copying from one another. Now, if you check what 10th of the 10th of the 9th year means, 9th year is 9,000 years. Ram was Zedekiah in Ramayana at 9,000 years. You see? So to try to understand Bible, that is why most of them try to get direct readers to one Bible. Don't read another one, because the other one have something different in it. Because both of them juggling to see who can understand Bible. They have no knowledge. It's 2,000 years. They're studying that every day and have no knowledge what they're writing. They have no knowledge of dates. They have no knowledge of dates at all. Dates, I presented dates in many of the past videos that you can look at. Modi referred to them as infiltrators and intruders. Modi also stated that you cannot see whole of India in one lifetime. This is another point I want to make. Rome traded with India. Well, an example would be the Romans. They had the largest empire at that time. From 1st century onward, they had the largest empire. How does the historians put that Rome was trading with India? And if you go on history there, you will see 300 ships, 200 ships per year leaving India. If somebody had to be a fool to understand what is taking place there, only India, Rome traded. He conquered all those lands to build that empire, and he hasn't traded with anyone. He thief and he kill and he murder everyone, and conquer the lands. So he loved the Hindus that much. When you look at it, they were looting India of their wealth and the people and everything. So this story that Rome traded with India is an amazing story. If you go through the internet, and you will see 200 ships, 300 ships leaving India per year, looting anything. And the thing about this, no scholars have come up to state what were the Romans doing in India. They never spend no money. Romans don't spend no money. They don't trade. They thief, they loot, and they carry back everything. Most of everything there in Europe are from other countries. So it is something to try to understand. Another simple thing there is God is here, there, and everywhere. What does that mean? He's sitting up there in the sky there, and he's here, there, and everywhere, and he's looking at everywhere you move. What it simply means is 200 million Hindus went around the world. They were gods. Hindus are gods in the Bible. They are gods. So they were here, there, and everywhere. On that note, I will close this video, and thanks very much.